Now in its 9th season, it's Prodigy Bowlers Tour, celebrating junior bowling and elevating junior bowlers. Today, episode 177, the 2024 Kansas City Open November Point Tournament. 5 players have qualified for the TV finals, but only one can leave as the Division II champion. Here are the 5 finalists. In the 5th position is Gianna Nichols of Lee Summit, Missouri. She'll face the number 4 qualifier, Caden Darling of Leavenworth, Kansas. The winner of that match will challenge the 3 seed, Fiona West, who won here 2 years ago. The winner will meet our 2 seed, smooth-stroking Logan Glinka of Topeka. And that winner will compete for the title against Jonas Tucker of Liberty, Missouri. He's our tournament leader. One of these talented young people will survive the stepladder to emerge as the Division II champion and will sign the neon yellow coveted trophy pin today on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. We welcome you to Royal Crest Lanes in Lawrence, Kansas, just a few blocks from the University of Kansas. We're here for the 2024 Kansas City Open November Point Tournament. Today we're bringing you the championship round in Division II. On our next episode, we'll turn our attention to the stepladder finals in Division I. But trust me when I say Division II can bring the heat too, especially with our field today, as most of the players we'll be watching had previously bowled in Division I. As in all KCO point tournaments, the players go through a 6-game qualifying round. 3 games in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, before the field is cut to the top 5 players for the stepladder finals. Later in the program, we'll show you where everyone finished when qualifying was completed. But without any further delay, let's get match 1 underway, as the number 5 qualifier, Gianna Nichols, takes on the number 4 qualifier, Caden Darling. Caden, you may recall, survived the wildcard round in the handicap division at last June's Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions, and then won the first 3 matches of the stepladder finals before finishing second to Caston Meyer. And Caston Meyer, as you may recall, would go on to bowl for the coveted trophy pin against Scratch Division winner Rhett Ryman. But that was then, and this is now. Gianna Nichols, with her opening toss, goes a little high and leaves the 2-4. This young lady making her first appearance on Prodigy Bowlers Tour today. I spotted her bowling last month in Division I. Oh my. Well, I don't know. That might have been nerves. Maybe bowling in front of a camera for the first time. I'm not sure what that was about. But we'll keep an eye on her. As now, Caden Darling will throw his first ball on the right lane. An all-lefty match. Caden Darling smokes him on his opening toss. As you can see, just 5 pins difference in handicap, so pretty evenly matched, these two. Over the 3rd arrow, out to about 8 at the break point, and down they go. We got Division 5 bowling to our left on lanes 1 and 2. Division 4 to our right on lanes 5 and 6. When we get to the end of the show, we'll recap how their stepladder went. And another solid strike for Caden. So he starts with a double. This kid can really roll the rock. I was real impressed by him when he bowled in the Prodigy TOC over the summer. And then a little shaker action off the wall by Gianna Nichols. Take another look at her game here. Very straight swing, back and through. Good balance. All her positions look about right to me. She looks like she's got quite a game. She was in Division I last month, and I guess she didn't bowl very well. She got rated down to Division II. But I tell you what, if she keeps doing that, she'll find herself right back up in Division I. Four-step approach. She plants rather than slides. Actually, she plants and slides a little bit. Gets the shaker to go. All right, Caden. Oh, well, I tell you what, when you get the ball to go high like that, with those revs, and still trip out the 6, 7, 10, you're living right. Throws it over about 13. That got out to about 4 or 5. Wow. That's why it came back hooking so hard on the back end. We bowl on the house shot. It's dry on the outside. The further left he throws it, that means it's going to hit the dry a little sooner, so it'll start hooking earlier. Actually, I think they will both find that they'll have more success in the long run out there in that shaker territory. He's not afraid to give it room. When you can bring it back like that, why not? All right. Gianna. Yeah, she pulled that one again. Through the nose, leaves the 4-7. She'll move her feet to the right of the lane, go cross lane at it. Oh my, she pulled it again, just like she did in the first frame. Although I noticed that time that her left shoulder was way ahead of her right shoulder when it should be squared up. Sometimes if you're a little nervous or the tension is high, whatever, maybe nervous just from being in front of a camera, I don't know, but you engage the muscles of the shoulder by pulling the ball down from the top. It'll bring your bowling shoulder forward, and it'll outrace the other shoulder to the foul line, and you'll pull it every time when that happens. Good recovery shot here, though. Watch that left shoulder. It's right about square. It's not quite in front of the right shoulder like it was on that spare attempt, the previous frame. Good result. Man, he just rips them apart. Honestly, I don't know how this kid hasn't been Division I. Every time I watch him bowl, he's just shredding the rack and making them scatter. He starts with a 5-bagger. No, man. crossing over and leaves a rather unusual split, the 7-8. Like a right-hander leaving the 9-10. You don't see this very often. Just put the ball right between the two pins and split them. That's the best way to make it. Close, but not quite. So 5 strikes and an open. That will bring Gianna back into the match a bit. She's working on a strike, and if she can strike here in the 6th and 7th, well, she can make this a match. Oh dear. It looked to me like she got around the ball a little early that time. So it wasn't really digging in as it entered the pocket. She leaves the 5-10. Put that ball on the left side of the 5 and slide it over. Well, another good attempt, but both players with splits and an open in the 6th. And she needs strikes, not opens. 51 pin lead for Caden Darling. There she goes, the ripper. Couple of errant shots for her this match, but she's capable of throwing some good ones. Boy, this one is a real good one. 5-pin whistles over into the 10. Boy, and I tell you what, if that lane had been 6 inches longer, Caden would have been right through the nose on that shot. It was climbing fast. He put so many revs on that ball. And it looked like it might crowd the head pin just a little bit, but that is high flush. Caden taking a pretty short approach. He's up standing by the 12-foot dots. And that ball hooks through the nose and leaves the 2-pin. 2 rows of dots at the back of the approach. The ones closest to the back of the approach are 15 feet from the foul line. The dots further up are 12 feet. That's where he's standing. Covers the spare easily. Caden with 4 tournament wins to his credit. He's won 3 KCOs and an HOA, that's the Heart of America, another tournament association here in the greater Kansas City area that puts on youth scholarship tournaments. That one just didn't quite get up. But after those opens following spares that she went through the nose to leave, I can see why she would err on the side of a little wide. Covers the spare, though. Gianna's problem is she's running out of frames, and she's got some ground to cover. The best she can do is 200. Caden can get there without a mark. And leaving a 10-pin here in the 9th frame is not going to help. Now the best she can do is 189. Caden is sitting at 181 if he throws the rest of his balls in the gutter. I don't think he's going to do that. He just needs 5 pins. I think he can put this match away here and then take a victory lap. Well, that's 5 and then some. So Caden Darling takes the opening match on Prodigy today. And he will move to our second match. Covering the 2-4-7. Caden will face Fiona West, our 3 seed, in the next match. Fiona very comfortable in this bowling center. Caden getting more comfortable with each toss like that. He's already thrown 7 strikes in this game. Never a doubt about that one. Wow, he sent that one extra wide. I don't know if he was just wanting to see what's out there, but now he knows. Throw it a little farther left than you intend, and all it does is start hooking early. As soon as it gets out there to the dry boards, it starts climbing right back. And that 2-4-7-8, one of the more difficult spares there is. That's not a split. There are probably more ways to miss it than there are to make it, and he showed you one of them. So 227 is going to be more than enough. So Caden can sit down and relax. Boy, that is the kind of shot that if Gianna can ever get to where she can be more consistent and throw those kind of shots, she'll be very hard to beat. The ball is in perfect position right under her head. Now, I'd love to see her get her fingers more toward the equator or a little below it. She's kind of on top of the ball, but it's right next to her ankle. She's all squared up at the release. She is a good player who is only going to get better. Boy, that could have been another strike. Well, it's not going to be her day at the KCO today, but she made the stepladder finals. And she finishes with a 179. Not what she'd hoped for, but she gets her feet wet bowling on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. She'll do better next time, but for now, it's Caden Darling and Fiona West coming up. Here's how we got here after qualifying ended. Of course, you already know who's in the top 5 stepladder finals. Right behind was Alec Rutschman, the handicap division winner at the 23 Prodigy TOC. Finishing in 13th place is Caden Ball. He won the March Adult Youth Doubles Tournament in Division 1 earlier this year. Kelton Meyer, the brother of Caston Meyer, who won the handicap division at this year's Prodigy TOC. There's Jacob Smith, the Tonganoxie Twister, who often helps us carry the equipment into the bowling center to tape the show. Luke Gramling, who's won a couple of times on Prodigy. And there's Liliana Gentlemark, our Division III winner in Gladstone last month. So, after match 1 of our stepladder finals, it's Caden Darling who takes that first step forward after defeating Gianna Nichols. I think Gianna has a pretty solid game. She just made a few critical mistakes, but I hope we get to see her again on Prodigy in the coming months. But right now, it's time to get match 2 underway, as our 4 seed, Caden Darling, now takes on our 3 seed, Fiona West. Caden commented to me he knows full well what Fiona is capable of doing. 2 years ago at this event, she was the tournament leader in Division II, and her qualifying scores were so high, she would have led Division I. She went on to win the title that November day in Lawrence 2 years ago, but today she'll need to win 3 matches to repeat the feat. Fiona, with the option, has elected to let Caden lead off. Well, that should get her attention. Can't really throw it any better than this. Hand right behind the ball. Boy, I don't know how you get that many revs on the ball. That ball would have to start revving up while it's still in his hand. Or so it would seem. Well, I'm not sure what happened that time, if it slipped off her hand or what, but that's not the kind of shot I expect from Fiona West. She throws a little more power than that. Not quite like what Caden's got. It's kind of the difference between throwing it one-handed and two-handed, but leaving a solid 5. Well, at least it's an easy spare. And she makes short work of it. Well, Fiona has certainly seen the winner's circle a number of times. She's got 5 tournament wins to her credit. She's won the Pepsi in Missouri a couple of times. She won the KCO here at Royal Crest Lanes 2 years ago in Division II. In fact, she just lapped the field that day. She's also won an HOA and a KC USBC tournament. So she knows her way to the winner's circle. That ball just didn't quite have enough juice at the end. So it's a flat 10. But I would expect she would have no problem with this. She's got a real solid technique at those spares. Just comes right up the back of the ball. It's a spare ball anyway that's not going to hook much, and the way she rolls it, it really can't get away from her. So a couple of spares, and you see we add the handicap into these players' scores in the first frame, so you don't have to keep track of it. Man, 2 of those in a row. I'd say Caden has figured out this pair of lanes. What do you think? Watch this. This is like a steamroller going through the pins. The only thing about Caden's game that he might want to be careful of is he gets up on his toes a little bit at the foul line. I think that's because he gets his weight a little too far forward, which raises the center of gravity up, and it's easy to fall off at the foul line. But that was a good one. A turkey out of the gate here in Turkey Month. Gobble, gobble. Caden with a little bouncy happening on the lane when he lets his ball go. There you go. Fiona, who hopes to be a graphic designer someday. I always have to give some deference to any kid who's got a creative bent. That's kind of my thing. That's solid in the pocket. They would be hard-pressed not to fall when you throw it like that. How about another one? How about another one? So, Fiona cuts the lead to just 10. Look at how close that ball is to her ankle. Foot perpendicular to the foul line. I'd love to see her fingers a little lower, but look at that ball position right under her head. She checks a lot of boxes. And she's very consistent. That is not a coincidence. Boy, I was going to say, he pulled that one. Missed it by that much. About an arrow. Easy spare, though, the 5-pin. No problemo. Well, when I asked him how he got started bowling, Caden said, "My mom put me in a league." We hear that every now and then from some of these young people. I think he decided he kind of liked it. I don't think he liked that, though. Caden with at least one 300 game to his credit. His high series, a 770. That's pretty good. And he covers the 4.78. So Fiona trailing by 6, working on a double. She can take the lead with another strike here in the 5th. There you go. So she moves out in front with that shot. Two years ago when she won here, her qualifying scores would have put her at top of the leaderboard even in Division I. She beat everybody in the KCO field that day and just looked effortless for her in the stepladder. Not so much with that shot. Just never quite got around it. And she leaves the washout, the 1-2-10. Put the ball on the left side of the 1-pin and throw it over into the 10. That's how we draw it up. Got to get up. Too much head pin. So just as she crawls back to make it a close match, she surrenders some pins with that open. And now Caden leads by 11. And puts a strike on the board. That's what you do when your opponent opens. You jump right on it. Caden, a 5-step approach guy. Little slide. Good shot. 4 pins slapping out the 7. His favorite player, Packy, from not so far from here, down in Wichita. Comes in a little thin, but had a little too much speed on it for it to finish enough to blow the 5 over into the 10. So he will have to shoot the 10 pin. This is a spare he should have no problem at all with. Mark it down as a spare. And now he will sit down and watch Fiona West and what she can do. He told me before this match started, he said, I know what she can do. So he knew he was going to have to come correct if he wanted to win this match. Oh my. Well, that one got away from her a little bit, I'd say. The 4-6-7. We've had the 4-6 made on Prodigy once. Antonio Miranda slid the 6 over into the 4. He would have gotten the 7 as well if it had been standing. But she's going to do the smart thing and take the count. It's hard to make yourself do that sometimes just because you know you're going to surrender more pins and you're already trailing and you just don't want to fall that far behind this late in the match. But if she were to try to slide the 6 over into the 4 and 7, she'd get 7 out far more often than she would get a spare. And another soft 10 as the 6 pin just won't do its job and kick out the corner pin. And right about now, Fiona's thinking, I need strikes, not spares, and certainly not opens. She'll go cross lane at the 10. Ooh. Oh, it's good that she used the big ball. All right. Caden Darling, spare working, leading by 22. Crossing over. Have to call that an errant shot. But he covers the 2 pin. No problem. So Fiona still has a possible 219. Caden is going at a 2:20 pace. So it's not over. Oh my. That one nearly slipped past the head pin. He could have left a washout. But he still short counts, leaves a spare that is easily chopped. We'll have to be careful with this one. Caden tends to shoot this from the left side of the lane. And that's where you're liable to chop it, but he crosses over and covers the spare. But now, the best Caden can do is 227. Fiona can strike out in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th for 219. That would certainly make it a match. Oh, man. What a good shot. Not rewarded. But she will shoot this 10 pin. And I'm thinking right now she doesn't care if she hits it by the hair of her chinny chin like she did earlier. But she gets a little more of it this time for a no stress spare. But now she's got to go sheet here. A strike in the 10th would give her 178 in the 9th and a possible 208. She would have to hope that Caden opened in the 10th. Well, there's a strike. Now she needs 2 more just like it. Pretty simple game. Fiona doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Very simple, repeatable swing. Well, that's going to get her into the 2-0s. A strike to fill it up at 208. She has figured out that if she needs it to hook a little more, she can just throw it a little farther to the right and get it to start hooking a little sooner. She gets the love tap on the 10 that time, so a 208, and that gives her at least a chance. Caden's going to need a mark here. Now, if he gets a strike, that'll be easy enough to add up. A strike and then 2 more pins. If he gets a spare, kind of depends on his count on the first ball. Well, he's got the hard part out of the way. That puts him at 207. He needs 2 more pins, and he's got 2 shots to get them. I like his chances. And that's just high flush right there. I mean, you just stuff them straight back. There's 2 and then some. And Caden Darling takes match 2. Caden, who has lived in Olathe, Kansas, recently moved to Leavenworth. So he's got a new home bowling center up there, which we will be visiting later on in the season. But for now, he's getting ready for match 3. He's on to face Logan Glinka next. Fiona West bowled well to keep that last match close, and she did all she could at the end to make it a match. But those back-to-back opens in the 6th and 7th are really what did her in, when she missed the washout in the 6th and then left the nearly impossible 4-6-7 in the 7th. But I'm sure she'll have her day in the winner's circle this season. But meanwhile, Caden Darling continued his winning ways with another solid showing, taking match 2 by a final score of 216 to 208. So it's Caden Darling who's advancing, and now he'll take on our 2 seed, Logan Glinka of Topeka. Logan has made the stepladder finals at the KCO and bowled on Prodigy a couple of times, but never quite bowled the way he's capable. He's hoping that today might be different. But as Caden Darling has shown us before on Prodigy, once he starts winning matches, he's like a train that's hard to slow down. Logan Glinka, the higher qualifier, had the option, and he wants to finish on the left lane. So Caden will lead off. And it's going to be 9 and a wiggle for you, young man, as the wall shot just doesn't quite get the 10. Caden says his best moment in bowling is when he bowled a 300. That is out the window today, at least in this match. But he doesn't care about numbers like that. He just wants to be there at the end with a chance to win. I suspect Logan Glinka will have something to say about that before this match is over. He's smooth. But boy, those pins move out of the way in a hurry, don't they? Watch it again. 4-step approach. Pretty old school. Just straight back, straight through, one-handed delivery. And just make the pins move out of the way. Logan getting 13 pins of handicap. Caden, 5. Ooh, how about that one? A little late action on the 9 pin. Thank you very much. And a double to start for this tall, lanky kid from Topeka. Look at this. Ball a little inside of his head, a little left of that. That's ideal. Close to his ankle. Foot perpendicular to the foul line. He makes it look easy. Pretty good shot. Just a pinch high. Leaves the 6. He's kept it in play all day so far. Covers it. Pretty nonchalant about it. His high series, a 770. Not sure if he got that same set when he shot his 300, but either way, that's pretty good bowling right there. Pulled that one. Man, did he ever. Oh, my goodness. He gets a backdoor wall shot. How did you do that? Watch his reaction to this one. He's thinking right now, this is trouble. Please hit the head pin. Oh, it did. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, thank you very much. All right, Logan is having none of that. But his light hit doesn't quite get the wall shot. Actually, a little too much speed that time. If he'd taken a little off of that, he would have finished a little more and might have carried that shaker, but easy spare, the 4-pin. I would imagine Logan Glinka does not miss many 4-pins. He has been bowling since the age of 5. His first youth league was when he was 6. Like Caden Darling, he has a 300 to his credit and a 783 for his high series. Pretty good bowling there. Boom. 10 back. Watch it again. There's that 4-step approach with a nice slide over the 3rd arrow out to about 8. Never a doubt. Well, now, these two both seem to have their A game going. So this could be a really fun match. Here these two players are side by side. A real contrast in styles. A one-hander on the left, a left-handed two-hander on the right, synced up at the release. They do everything a little differently than the other, and yet they both get great results. More than one way to skin a cat. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Well, that is going to be a 9, not a strike. One of the KCO board members, Brent Whitesell, to the rescue to fix the scoring. And I guess he's got to call the counter to get them to reset the 5-pin. Can't do it from the console there behind the ball return. They got to phone it in to the people up at the front of the bowling center, who will call the folks back in the back behind the pin setters to reset the 5-pin.
Did you break the pin setter?
The machine knocked over the pin that was standing, and when that happens, you have to reset the pin. And usually you feel like you've been robbed, but not really. And look at this. I imagine what happened here is he called in the 5-pin and somebody heard 5-10. Nope, just the 5-pin. Here's the rule, the USBC rule: illegal pinfall. When any of the following occur, the delivery counts, but the resulting pinfall does not. Number 4, a pin is touched by mechanical pin setting equipment. That's what happened here. And if illegal pinfall occurs and the player is entitled to additional deliveries of the ball, the pins illegally knocked down must be respotted where they originally stood before the ball was delivered. And we'll take another look at his delivery and just what happened. It's going to be the 5-pin, the one behind the one in front. That is the 5-pin, even though it's sort of between the 5 and 6 spot. The machine knocked it over, so that locks in the pin count as 9, and now here he is for the spare. It was a long wait for a very simple spare, like calling timeout on a field goal kicker who's got a 25-yarder to kick. But he covers it, and now Logan Glinka, who already leads by 9, has a strike working. He can extend his lead if he can put up a double here. And that's exactly what he does. Logan Glinka, who says he wants to be a doctor when he grows up. There you go. That'll pay the bills. Solid in the hole. Boy, there's another one. Man, he is just rolling them over. Here's the footwork. Drifts about 3 boards left. There's nothing wrong with drifting. I guess ideally you'd like to end on the same board that you start, as long as you drift the same amount each time. Oh my. The big 4. The 4, 6, 7, 10. In all my years of bowling, I only made this once. I've seen it made a couple of times. But he is going to have to settle for 8 out. And that won't make him happy. Pretty sure of that. And we are 6 frames into this match, and Logan Glinka has built a 45-pin lead. Caden's going to have to do a lot of that to cut into that lead. Logan doesn't look like he's going to be backing up anytime soon. The only thing with Caden's game that I think he could really improve on is that ball is not very close to his right ankle as he comes through the delivery. If he'll keep his bowling elbow a little closer to his torso, he might be able to get that ball in a little closer to his body, closer to his leg, which should give him both increased accuracy and a little more leverage. As Logan puts one through the nose, lucky to come away with an 8 count and no split. Covers the spare, though. But that gives Caden a slight opening, albeit little more than a crack. Caden with a possible 237. Logan going at a 240 pace. So it's still anybody's match. Logan amassing enough strikes that we can put the old Prodigy Bowlers Tour 3 up on him. 3 shots from this match. There's his release. These shots all look very similar. Even his reactions look very similar. But how similar is the delivery? We'll be able to tell with our 3 deep look, where we stack one on top of the other. There it is. You see some minor difference from one to the next, but those are 3 different shots. Caden's going to have to charge the rest of the way to give himself much chance. This was a good one. He would also benefit from a little more knee bend. That's one of the reasons a ball is bouncing on him. He needs to get a little lower so that the ball comes in to the floor at a shallower angle. But I tell you what, those were 3 good strikes he just threw. And so he's got a chance here at the end to close. But it all depends on what Logan can do. He's still in control of his own fate here. But that one comes up a little high, so he's unable to put a double up. So he remains at a 240 pace. Now, if he finishes strike spare, if he covers this 4-pin and then finishes strike spare in the 10th, actually, he won't even need that. He'll just go make this spare and then fill, I guess, 18 in the 10th would be enough. There's the spare he needed. You don't want to be giving pins away here at the end. But Logan will be finishing first, so he's going to have the opportunity to shut out Caden Darling. He needs 18 in the 10th to secure this match and move on to bowl for the title against Jonas Tucker. Oh, man. He almost threw it away there. If he had missed the head pin and gotten short count, Caden could have gotten up in the 10th and won the match. But as it is, Logan can still shut him out. He needs a spare and 9 on his fill ball. Okay. Now, if Logan were to happen to get 8 here, Caden could get up, throw 3 strikes in the 10th, and we'd have a tie. If Logan were to get 7 or less, Caden could win with 3 strikes in the 10th. But 9 or a strike here, and Logan is moving on. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Here's the shutout ball. Third arrow, out to about 11. That is well done. And a clutch strike. Well, Caden can be proud of the fact that he fought his way back into it at the end. Put a little pressure on Logan, but it's going to come up a little short. He's going to finish third. But third is not nothing. It's going to be a 2:15 finish. Final score makes it look a little bit more of a blowout than it actually was. But it's Logan Glinka who wins match 3, and now he will bowl for the title against Jonas Tucker when we return. Boy, I tell you what, Caden Darling is one scrappy competitor. He seemed hopelessly out of the match, but he put together that turkey in the 7th, 8th, and 9th frames, and all of a sudden, Logan Glinka was feeling the heat. He very nearly tossed the ball out the window when his first ball in the 10th sailed wide and nearly missed the head pin entirely, which would have opened the door for Caden to steal victory from the jaws of defeat. But showing some moxie of his own, Logan Glinka got what he needed in the 10th, barely, to shut out his opponent and take the match. So it's a third-place finish for Caden, and now Logan Glinka advances to the championship match to bowl for the title against our tournament leader, Jonas Tucker. Jonas can really make the pins scatter. He'll need to bring his A-game because Logan Glinka is lined up on the championship pair and looks loose. I expect to see fireworks in this match. It seems a near certainty that we will have some explosiveness at the very least when Jonas throws the ball. Just 3 pins difference in their handicaps, so pretty evenly matched pair. Oh my goodness gracious. With as much speed as he threw that with, I'm surprised it came hooking back so hard. But that was right through the nose, and he's left the 3, 6, 7, 10 makeable. But that one a little too wide. And so it's an open frame to start. And you see he had 8 out. We add his 10 pins of handicap to his score. So he has 18 in the first. And his handicap is now all accounted for in his score. Logan, 18. Jonas is 17. And the 5-pin just will not swish into the 7 this time. So Logan will have to go for the spare. He says that he got started because his grandpa and his dad used to take him bowling when he was in grade school. And he liked it. And he says his best moment in bowling came when he was on the winning team that won the Kansas High School Bowling 6A championship, team championship. And he took 7th in the individual competition. Pretty juicy. Yeah, it looked to me like he came through that a little more firmly with his swing. He just kind of ripped that thing down from the top. His normal game is just the way I like to coach it, is to tell people they'll just let gravity bring that ball down from the top of the swing. It looked like he kind of pulled it down, tried to give it a little extra at the bottom. I think he just threw it through the break. Gets the 2, 4, 5, 8 on the left side, which is not the way we teach it, but a spare is a spare is a spare. And just as we did with Jonas, Logan's 13 pins of handicap are added into his score. He started with a spare, added 6 on the first ball in the second. That would be 16. You add 13 to it. That's how we arrive at 29 in the first frame. So a handicap is all added in now. Oh my. Well, Jonas is having a little hard time staying off the nose, it seems. When you throw as much ball as he does, you've really got to stay off the nose, because you're not going to break up as many splits as somebody who goes straighter. So, no conversion of the 6, 7, 10, but that's back-to-back opens. And in 2 frames, Jonas has fallen 22 pins in arrears. The action to our left is Division 5. The action to our right on lanes 5 and 6 is Division 4. And we will tell you how their stepladders played out after we visit with our winner at the end of the show. Once again, breaking high. He's got to make an adjustment. That could have been another split, but he broke it up. Leaves just the 3, 6. And he cannot afford another open. Covers it. So, as we would say, he's on the board. Finally with a mark. But he does not look like a happy camper, and I understand. Now Logan's just got to shut all that out. Oh my. He had the 4-9 staring at him. Something got the 9 to fall. Just the 4-pin. I'd be shocked if he had any problem with this. Spares it up. Logan started the year as Division I, and in September when we were in Olathe, he finished 21st in Division I. That's when he got re-rated down to Division II. He didn't bowl in October in Gladstone. That's a pretty long drive from Topeka. And here he is in Division II. Shreds the rack. Might be the best shot he's thrown today. Watch it again. This hits the half pocket, but then it just drives through. Sends that 5-pin straight over into the 7. Never had a chance. All right, Jonas, time to get busy here. Boy, another one through the nose. And I don't know what to tell him. Keep it off the nose. That's what I'd tell him. I think he knows, though. Look out. Okay. Covers the spare. Well, Jonas got started when he saw bowling on his grandparents' TV at their house, and he got hooked. Says he wants to be a pro lighting director or a jazz drummer when he grows up. Just look at him. He looks like a musician, doesn't he? Boy, he was not going to be high with that shot. Sent that one extra wide, and it's just a hopeless feeling when you're lost and everything you try just doesn't quite work. I don't know that there is a bowler alive in the world today who hasn't been there, done that. And he runs by the 2-pin. So chopping the spare, adding insult to injury. Wow. Didn't see this coming. He bowled so well today. A high hit for Logan, so he's unable to add a little more distance between himself and Jonas by stringing some strikes. But as it stands right now, he may be able to get this one home by just treading water the rest of the way. Covers the 4-pin. Logan, a product of the youth program at West Ridge Bowling Center in Topeka. Yeah, that one was out the window. And he leaves the washout, the 1, 2, 8, 10, one of several different varieties of washouts that there are. They all are made the same way. Put the ball on the left side of the head pin, drive it over into the 10. The ball will get the 2, and if there's an 8 back there, which in this case there is, a 2 will get the 8. And how about that? He's got to like that one. Some people wonder why the washout isn't considered a split. It isn't because the head pin is standing. Oh my goodness. Jonas gets a wall shot. The ball actually didn't get the 5 pin going through. That's just because he threw it so hard. See if we can see what's going on here with Jonas's game. The ball's under his head in good position, a little bit left of his head. Fingers at the bottom of the ball like you like them, but look at this gap between his elbow and his torso and the ball and his ankle. He needs to get that gap shrunk down so that the ball passes right by his ankle. When the ball is that far from your body, your elbow is that far from your body, you lose both accuracy, hello, look at this, and you lose leverage. Hard to imagine the possibility that he could have even more leverage and even more power on the ball, but he's wasting some of it just because the ball is so far from his body as it comes through. But the big thing is accuracy, and you saw it right there on this first ball in the 7th where he leaves them all. Got to get it. Nope, it's another open frame. And he is just donating pins to Logan. I hate to see it. But hopefully he will learn from this and improve so that next time he will be better. He's got a lot of talent. Boy, that was just a rope, a frozen rope. Logan just planted that one in the 1-3 and said, I'll take my chances with that. Logan's won so many youth bowling tournaments, he didn't even know how to list them all. He just put down on his sheet of paper the Pepsi, high school tournaments, and others. There's a trip 4 just to let everybody know that he came to win. Watch the 2 pin. It's going to go to the left wall and then slip between the 4 and 7 and do the damage. Bang. Boy, when a player is loose and he can trip that 4 like that, you know he's going to be tough to beat. There you go. Jonas just shaking his head like, where has that been all day? Well, he had it all day. It's just when this stepladder match started, it seems like his best shots were spent in qualifying. But you don't get to be the tournament leader without pounding the pocket like that. There you go. I don't know if that'll make him feel much better, but at least you get to see what he's capable of. Stand back. You don't want to be in the way of that one. Well, Logan just wants to shoot the washout again, I guess. That was well right of his target. Now he leads by 40, so he's not going to be in much danger even if he misses this, but you don't like to finish a match leaking oil. Yep, there is an open. But he still has a 28-pin lead. Now, he sure doesn't want to open again because Jonas, working on a double, could still shoot 190. Logan can shut him out, but he'll need a mark. A mark and 3. There's the mark. And I like Logan's chances of getting 3 pins in 2 balls. What do you think? He's got such a smooth swing, and then he just snaps it at the release, just like a whip coming through. He wins the tournament with 3 pins. There you go. There's your winner, Logan Glinka. He will be putting his name on the coveted trophy pin. Leaves the 8-pin standing, but it doesn't matter. He's going to be at the Prodigy TOC in June. And let's see if Jonas can finish this off the way he wishes he would have started it. Well, he crosses over. I think he just wants this to be over. I feel his pain. Now there's a spare and a possible 167. He's just dumbfounded, thinking, how could this have happened to me after I bowled so well all day? But this sport of ours is just a little harder than we think about it being sometimes when we bowl so well to make the step ladder, and then this happens. But tough going for Jonas Tucker, but congratulations to Logan Glinka. He'll sign the coveted trophy pin next. Well, you got a feel for Jonas Tucker. You saw toward the end of that match what kind of powerful strikes he's capable of throwing. And he wouldn't have been the tournament leader if he hadn't been throwing a ton of them today. But just when the curtain came up for the championship match, that devastating strike ball of his was just nowhere to be found. Which is a shame, because Logan Glinka didn't exactly have his best stuff in that match either. But back-to-back splits to start the match, and 2 more opens later on, one set up by a gutter ball on the strike toss. And well, it just wasn't Jonah's time. But I have a feeling we'll see him again. And Logan Glinka has already paid his dues, having experienced similar performances in his previous appearances on Prodigy. But today was Logan Glinka's day to shine. So he is the Division II champion at the 2024 KCO November Point Tournament. So it's time you meet him, and time for us to get him to sign the coveted trophy pin.
It's a first-time winner on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Look, it's Logan Glinka. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
I've been expecting this day for some time, but you don't bowl all these KCOs.
Not all of them. I try to stay on Kansas mostly.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that you finally made it. So the question is, how did you do it? Because you bowled well all day.
Yeah, I've been in a little bit of a slump since junior gold, and I've practiced a lot in the past couple weeks, and so
Just kind of came together.
yeah, Ion Pro was very good.
So you actually got rated down to Division II.
Yeah,
So I know you didn't win because of handicap. You're too good a player to be Division II, and I suspect that after this performance, you probably won't be much longer.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. Well, you bowled great today, and I'm proud of you. I know I saw your dad back there rooting on. I know he was on the edge of his seat with every shot you threw, but you made it look pretty easy.
Yeah, my parachuting was really good all day.
Well, that'll usually do it. Well, congratulations. And of course, this means that you get to sign the coveted trophy pin. And, oh, by the way, this punches your ticket into the Prodigy Tournament of Champions in June. You were actually qualified for it last year, and you were unable to attend, as I recall.
That was my sister.
No, that was your sister.
My
That's
sister,
right.
yeah.
She had a softball tournament that weekend.
Yep.
I remember now. Yeah, so, well, are you going to have softball in June?
No softball in June.
Excellent. So maybe we'll see
Hopefully
you.
you'll see me.
Awesome. Well, put your name on there. Put today's date. what is today? 11/3. And there is a new qualifier for the Prodigy TOC right there, ladies and gentlemen. Topeka's own Logan Glinka.
What's the date?
Today's the 3rd. One of the best one-handed players we have at the KCO. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
As I mentioned during the show, the players to our left on lanes 1 and 2 were the Division 5 finalists. Here's how their stepladder played out. In the opening match, the number 4 qualifier, Nicholas Lorenzos, defeated the 5 seed Little Madeline Green 159 to 144. Then in match 2, it was the 3 seed Carter Reese who took the match from Nicholas Lorenzos 177 to 148. Carter is the little kid you saw in the periphery who employed the two-handed delivery, similar to what we saw from our Division 5 winner in September, Caden Duncan. Carter Reese continued his winning ways in match 3, defeating the 2 seed Emma Lorenzos 188 to 152. Carter was out there making friends with the Lorenzos family, huh? But in the championship match, Carter came up a little short as the tournament leader, Cale Dawson, took the Division 5 title 199 to 189. And as I mentioned earlier on the show, the group to our right on lanes 5 and 6, that was Division 4. And here's how their stepladder played out. In the opener, the 5 seed Gavin Bullock edged the 4 seed Jasmine Villalobos 188 to 182. Then in match 2, stop me if you've heard this before, the 3 seed Bella Gonzalez ended Gavin's day 181 to 166. Then Bella put her foot down in match 3, defeating the 2 seed Little Adam Wilson 266 to 174. And in the championship match, Bella Gonzalez finished the job, polishing off another KCO title in Division 4 by beating the tournament leader, Jaden McElwee, 205 to 172. So congratulations to Bella Gonzalez in Division 4, Cale Dawson in Division 5, and of course our winner today on Prodigy in Division 2, Logan Glinka. On our next edition of Prodigy Bowlers Tour, episode 178, you'll see the Division 1 championship round at the November KCO. And we'll tell you how the stepladder finals played out for Division 3. If you'd like to bowl in an upcoming Kansas City Open, visit their website at www.kansascityopen.com. There you'll find the tournament schedule, rules, entry forms, and everything else you need to know about the KCO. Once again, it's www.kansascityopen.com. If you liked this video, please give it a like by hitting that thumbs up button down below. Smash the subscribe button to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you receive notifications whenever we post new content. Be sure to leave a comment down below. We just ask that you refrain from posting any spoilers, comments that give away what happens on the show. And most of all, tell your friends about Prodigy Bowlers Tour and share the video on your social media feeds. If you'd like to support the creative work that goes into producing Prodigy Bowlers Tour, and it takes about 40 hours to edit each episode of the show, become a Prodigy patron. Visit the website at www.patreon.com/Prodigy Bowlers Tour and follow the instructions to become a patron. For just $5 a month, you'll get early access to each full-length episode we post. And for only $10 a month, you'll get early access and you'll get your name in the show's closing credits as an executive producer, just like the big shots in Hollywood do in motion pictures. And to keep up with all things Prodigy, join our Facebook group. From any page on Facebook, type into the search bar Prodigy Bowlers Tour and hit enter. That'll take you to a page where you can submit a request to join the group. But remember, you'll be presented with 3 questions. You must answer those screening questions or your request to join the group will be declined. We don't want to approve spam bots or people who don't even know what they're joining. So answer the questions. We'd love to have you join the group. So that's a wrap for this edition of Prodigy Bowlers Tour. We'll be right back here at the Royal Crest Lanes in Lawrence on our next episode with the Division I Finals. Look for that show to drop in about a week. So, until then, this is Coach Randy wishing you the very best on and off the lanes and reminding you to stay behind the foul line and keep kicking out the corner pins, not the foul lights and ball returns. And I'll talk to you next time on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Now, go get your bowl on.